Hello and welcome to Stitches and Slapdashery Slowvember Day 25. Make a small slow stitching project or continue on a work in progress. As you know, I do have a work in progress and I made good progress on it last night. But before I continue on and hopefully finish that today, I want to show you my dry erase board. And you can see how I've been tracking the Slowvember days, and also what I just did today is try and get my head straight for future projects, or current and future projects, really. So this is my dry erase board. I did not plan each day ahead. I have just been writing in after the fact what I did on each day, just for my own enjoyment. And there we are, up to day 24, and after I've done today's video, I'll fill in day 25. Only 6 videos to go. 5 if you're watching this once. Obviously, you're watching this once it's already published, so 5 more after you watch this. So what I did today, because I was getting a bit overwhelmed with all my ideas and things I wanted to do, I just wrote these different coloured post-it notes today. I have some beads which I want to make keychains with for my Jersey family, because they recently had their dog put down. So my sister and her 2 kids. I'll show you the beads for that in a minute. Work in progress tree slow stitch, which will hopefully come off the board very, very soon. Crumb block cushion cover, which I started a couple of days ago. I decided I wanted to go ahead with that cushion cover idea, so I've got a lot more sewing to do for that. Clay leaf, I'll show you how that's drying out. It's definitely nowhere near painting stage yet. McCall's tailored shirt. A while back, a few years ago, I made a plaid shirt using a McCall's pattern, and if I say so, even if I say so myself, I did a really good job on it, matched the plaids and everything. Now I want to make a quilt cotton version, and if it works out well, I want to make a few more. Reading challenge, as I showed you the other day, I have 4 absolutely massive library books, which I'm hoping to get read in December. Granny Square project, that's the Lion Brand Heartland Granny Square project, using the little patterns in the box of 50 Granny Squares by Claire Montgomery. That's an ongoing project. The work in progress slipper socks, which is the Dora Does pattern for the Snowfall slipper socks. Even though I'm not 100% enjoying those, I do want to get them finished, so I need to work more on those. And the dishcloth is just a really, really low priority. If I'm out and about and I need a mindless thing to do, dishcloth project. This is where the leaf is at. As you can see, it's really only dried out on the edges so far. It's got a long way to go. I could probably pick this up without doing any damage. So it's very, very moist underneath still. So I think once it's had another day to dry on top, I'll probably turn it over so it can dry on the bottom better. And these lovely beads, these paw print beads, I got them from Michael's the other day. They're huge. When I saw them, I was just looking on the website for dog-themed beads and such, and I didn't realize when I saw them that they were so big. So when I saw them in store, I was like, yes, those are great. And I got some of these beads to go with them, which are lentil shaped, I suppose you could call them, fairly flat. And I thought those would make some good key rings. Now that we've covered all of the things to come, let's get on with the tree. So look what I did with it last night. Each of the little gnomes has a bell on his hat. This one has a gold one to kind of go with printed one underneath, and then I thought this one could do with a red one and this one with a green one, and I put a whole bunch of gold sequins over it, and then I buttonhole stitched the seam up the side. I'm not sure if I'm going to put anything on the very top. I did position one of the sequins right up there, so it may not need anything on the top. But right now, I'm going to rustle a lot because I am going to put some stuffing inside. I don't necessarily want it really, really full, but I don't want it to collapse when it's being handled. I abandoned the idea of the cardboard cone inside. I didn't think it needed it. So it's just going to get lots of polyfill put in. I haven't filled it too much because what I need to do is draw a circle around the base of it next. So we're back to the cereal box. And I'm not going to worry about it being a perfect circle necessarily. Just going to hold it down and just do a pencil mark on the cardboard. Try not to push it in as I'm drawing around it. I think that'll do it. So I think I'll go and grab some more of this red fabric and then cover that. Another scrap for the scrap bag. So I think I can, I probably should have allowed a bit more fabric there. I think if I can glue it onto the cardboard and then put it on the base there, I should be able to sew it on. And I think I'll just use sewing thread. In one way, it'd be nice to make a feature of the stitching. What I saw Sarah Humphrey do when she was making little pots in a video the other day is she was buttonhole stitching around the edge of that piece, and then she would buttonhole stitch around the edge of the base, and then she'd sew the two buttonhole stitches together. So it was quite subtle. I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm hoping for a slightly quicker finish. I can feel the impatience kicking in. But as you can see from my initial part of this video, I have a lot of things I want to get done. And I know there's no time limit really, but I always worry that if I don't write these things down, I'm not going to get around to doing them, because I'll move on to something else and just completely forget that I wanted to do it. Do you have that problem? The good news is that I have a week off in December. Mr. Stitches and I have a staycation booked. Normally, we go away for our anniversary, our wedding anniversary. And this year, we booked the week off, but we didn't book any Airbnb or anything. And so now, when we look at what's available, the places that are available just don't have the criteria that we like in an Airbnb in the winter. We do like a hot tub, and I also like a wood stove if possible. It doesn't even necessarily have to be like a wood-burning wood stove. It could even just look like a wood stove, but be a little bit more easy to operate. That's fine too. And we're not worried about traveling a long way to get to this thing, because sometimes when we've been away in December, the roads have been pretty bad with snow or ice. And so driving a long way is definitely not something we feel we need to do. But yeah, there just wasn't anything on Airbnb that we liked the look of enough to book. So we're saving the money and we're having a staycation. So the good thing about that is I'll have an entire week, in fact, probably 9 days, because I think I booked from the Saturday of one weekend through to the Sunday of the next weekend. I'll have 9 days to do even more crafting than ever, and reading and all that sort of thing. Going to be great. All right, let me just start at the back, I think. There we are. Not that it really matters. This is going to be fiddly, so I'm going to pause the camera and I'll come back when I am done. As expected, that was pretty fiddly, but I just did a whip stitch around there. Even though the thread matches the fabric really well, I'm not particularly happy with how it looks. So I'm going to give it a slightly more finished look by putting some of this around the bottom. I'll start again at the back. Let's see if my hot glue gun is hot again. Aha! I'm going to try and get this right on the edge. Just use a few dabs of glue, because if you use too much, it looks nasty. Ta-da! The tree is finished. I'm very happy with that. Where's my little scroll? Here's the little scroll that's going to go to my friend along with this tree. Maybe a little bit of chocolate or something. And she goes all out decorating for Christmas, so I'm hoping she will like these enough to add them to her Christmas decor. Well, that's that post-it note obsolete already, because I just finished this. I do love a good finish. So for bonus content today, I think we're going to tackle these keychains. I do have these keychains, which I also bought at the same time as the beads. Now, I'm pretty sure I have some large split rings, which I could have used somewhere in my craft room. Do I know where they are? No. But I rather like these. They've got the snaky bits on them. They call them snake key rings, I think. Snake keychains, 25 millimeters, 12 pieces. From the bead landing department of Michael's. I quite like that because it will make them nice and dangly. These are 6 beads and let's measure them. Do I have something I can measure them with? Nope. But I would say they're about 1 inch across, so about 2.5 centimeters. Again from Michael's. If you want to get these at Michael's in Canada or the States, the SKU is 508452. There's a small clear bead between each one, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to use those. Some of them are more crazed in the background than others. But that doesn't matter because I'm only planning to use 1 per keychain. Now I probably should have something to put this in so that everything is not going to roll away, but it's only the little clear ones that are rolling. The rest should sit quite nicely on the table. These black beads are SKU 172402. And I'll just cut 1 string off for now. I can't remember how much these retail for, but I got these on sale. But in the Black Friday sale, if you're watching this Black Friday week 2025, bead strings are currently 60% off. So I got 60% off of these guys, and then I used the 40% coupon off of these. So I thought it was quite a good deal. I'm happy with that. Now, rather than tie my cord straight to this little ring here, I was thinking maybe I would use a split ring. I've got some larger ones here and some smaller ones here. So I'm not really sure whether to do that or not. Do I really need an extra piece of metal when I could just tie my black string straight to that? Now, as usual, I haven't really planned ahead much for this. We're going to wing it. I've got some of my... Oh no, the fabric glue is not what I meant to get out. I was going to get some of my fray stop out. But actually, this would probably work even better just to finish off my cord. And this is a waxed cotton cord, I think. It's a bit thinner than the bamboo cord I have. And the holes in these beads are fairly small. Might be okay. Just hoping this will push through without fighting me on it. These beads are rather lovely. And they've got a natural look to them, which should coordinate with anything, I would think. I'm wondering whether to put them below the pour bead or above it. Let's just have a little play. Now, do I like that or don't I like that? Then going to be attached there. Is that enough? Or should I put more beads on? I've had to resort to a needle because, I don't know, it was like the end of my cord was just getting lost inside those beads. So I was thinking that maybe... Oh, that's so much better. I need 2 of those lovely ceramic beads on each one. Like so. Hang on, that one. Because these are neutral colours, they should go nicely. So then 3 of those. Oops. Oh, this works so much better. I quite like that, but I think I'm going to have to think about it. I'm not going to finish it off yet because I'm not 100% convinced. Maybe I'll do the other 2 as well, and then whoop, I'll go off to work later and I'll do my shift, and then when I come back I'll take another look at it. I did have another idea for a, what's the word I'm looking for, an homage to the poor departed dog. I did consider getting a photograph of him and getting it printed onto fabric at Spoonflower and then making something with that fabric. But I couldn't come to a decision on that and be absolutely 100% sure that's what I wanted to do. So I'm doing this, and it's going to be something small that's easy to mail because it's got to go a long way, and something they can use every day. I mean, if I was to make like a little zipper pouch for my nephew, what are the chances he'd actually use it for something? Whereas if I give him something like this, which he can hang off his house keys, then he can carry it with him all the time. Whoop. And there they can stay, so I can let things marinate in my brain in case I decide to do it a different way. Of course, I could do 2 of these per keyring, but I'm going to just do 1. I'll leave the needle there for later. And yeah, that'll be that for today. So that's that for day, what was it, 25? 26? Oh, I don't know. So that's that for today. I think I already said that. I'm really, really pleased that this is finished. Feels like it took quite a while to get done, but there was a lot of stages to it. So I hope she likes it. And as for the key rings, maybe you can let me know your thoughts on how I've arranged the beads and whether you think there's a better way to arrange them. I do have, let me see if I can show you these without dropping them. So you see in there, in that yellow container, I have some others that are orange, green and blue. They're all very lovely colours. But I didn't think they'd particularly go with the poor ones, but who knows? So yeah, leave a comment under the video. So I'm going to pop upstairs and have some lunch. Mr. Stitch has just got back from his morning at the office, so he'll be working at home for the rest of the day. So that'll be the main meal out of the way, and I can just have something light later on. And hopefully I'll get some editing done before I go. Thanks very much for being here today. and I'll see you again tomorrow.